What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. As you know, it's your girl Craving Cowboys. We're not going to be in here for too long. I actually kind of woke up a little bit late. So, as you know, practice starts in just about an hour. But I definitely wanted to go over just some of these clips I was able to get from yesterday's practice. It's not going to be a lot. Yesterday I was just really focusing on just some of the trench work, really kind of I had, have a lot of shots of Coach Scanina coaching up the defensive ends, defensive tackles as well. We're going to go over a few of those clips, just take a look at, some players like Fahoko, Justin Rogers, Denzel Daxon. I also have some special team clips for you guys as well. Nothing too crazy. Jalen Crawford, and also Wanye Thomas. And of course, Turpin is a return specialist, so we know those. They're just of course a couple other guys that they've been kind of adding in the mix. I like to see that. Last year, they also had Cropper and Wanye taking special team reps. So it was good to see that they're continuing that, and just trying to find other roles for these guys to fill. Before we get started, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit subscribe. Shout out to all my new subscribers. Shout out to Law Nation, for making that possible. Really, really appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody supporting, like I said, hitting the like button, hit the share button, hitting the Cash App. Make sure you guys do that. Definitely takes time. I'm out here in Cali right now. It's actually my last day. I do return tomorrow, but it's definitely been a great trip out here, and be able to get these experiences, be able to talk to some of these players. I do have some of the clips towards the end of the show. So if you guys stay tuned, you'll be able to see just a couple questions. I was able to ask a few questions, able to ask a few players while they're in the sideline. So we're going to go ahead and jump into some of these clips. Like I said, first off, I have just some of these special team reps that they were taking. As you guys see with the zoom in, Turpin back here waiting for the ball, or waiting for the kickoff, I should say. I hope you guys can see the video. It look like it's kind of messed up. But I mean, I'm sure you guys watched the Hall of Fame game the other night, and I'm sure you guys saw pretty much the basis of the new return rules and things like that. You can have two returners back there. Players can't move until the player catches the ball. Things like that. That's actually that's Cropper right now. And I mean, we know Cropper has that swiftness, that just that speed that they've been looking for. I mean, we spoke about it yesterday in my show, or the day before, where Cropper just has that speed, and that's Wanye Thomas right here. And we know he has that physicality. He's not afraid to. I'm not surprised that he's taking special team reps because he's definitely not afraid to step up and lay a hit on lay a hit on the opposing team. And I also shout out to everybody in the building: Marcus McFarland, Double R, Jamison Taylor, Dak Owens, Filthy. Really appreciate you guys joining me this morning. We're go ahead and move on to some of these defensive line drills. As you guys can see, Coach Scanina, trying to teach these guys, just kind of how to perfect their bend a little bit. You see them going around the circle. And that's all. I mean, we definitely need that. We need these big boys to be nimble. We need them to be able to move off the line. Just kind of have that power. And I mean, really, this bend. I mean, I know it helps more so the defensive edges than the tackles. But I mean, it's good to get these guys, getting their feet work together. And like I said, just helping them be a little bit more nimble in their movements. Even just watching just some of the work from yesterday. I tweeted that yesterday. If you guys follow me on Twitter, so I just know, just trying to watch players like Fehoko, as you guys can see in the clip here. That's Fehoko. Also, Justin Rogers, number 96, 51, Darrell Johnson. And like I said, we see Rogers on out now. Granted, and that's actually Cooper Beebe he was going up against. And granted, some of these guys at the defensive line that these guys are going up against are guys like Josh Ball, Matt Walesko, guys like that. Nathan Thomas, our new draft pick, Austin Richards, second team, third team tackle. So these aren't guys like D-Law, right? These aren't guys like, Micah Parsons, or even our second round pick, Marshawn Nealon. But, it's good for these guys to be able to get these reps up. And, even though they're spending time away from the team, it's good to kind of hone in on these special details. I see on that play with a false start. But just something I kind of observed, just look in my own eyes. Now, like I said, like I tweeted yesterday, I like the disengagement off blocks from Denzel Jackson. He's really, showing just movement there in the middle. That's Justin Rogers right there. And just in my opinion, I want to see a little bit more from Justin Rogers. I know he's our late round pick, 7th round pick, but I think he has that power at the line, but I'm just not seeing the burst right now. I want to see him just kind of move back the center just a little bit more. Just kind of get a little bit, just to maybe a little bit more burst, maybe, and a little bit better with his hand techniques as well. But it seems like, he's in the middle, but he's not getting the pressure. Like it's kind of like he hits a wall. Now, granted, he's taking on double blocks with Cooper and Cooper Beebe and Nathan Thomas, but like I said, I mean, he's gonna have to, he's gonna be, facing bigger guys than that. We know we go up against the Giants, guys like Dexter Lawrence, guys who are plugging up the middle of other teams. As you guys see with Fehoko, he's able to kind of get around Josh Ball just a little bit. Eastside Hero coming through, of course, gracing us with his presence. He says it looks like practice squad to me. And actually, some of these guys will be trying to aim, for spots on the practice squad. So you are half right, Eastside. I'm saying, some of these guys, of course, like I named Nathan Thomas, Austin Richards. Most of these guys are depth guys. And also shout out, as we see, number 91. Actually, let me see who that is on there. I think that's Tyrus Wheaton. He was actually here in this system last year as well. So hopefully we can see him kind of take a second year jump, if you will. You see Fehoko gets a little bit better with the speed, a little bit better with the burst, and able to get around Josh Ball. And in case you guys haven't noticed, this is Greg Ellis is the one that's in the hat. He's the one coaching up this team at this particular time. And I just like seeing that work. Not just working with the edges, but also getting some work in with the DTs as well. I just kind of speaks to You know, all these guys. You know, we talk about Mike McCarthy and his across the hall system and things like that. You know, I think it helps when coaches decide to interact with more than just their positional group. Here we see BB at the line once again for Hoko. Awesome Richards playing left tackle. And I think that's TJ Bass at right guard. I'm not 100% sure. Of course, we have to Hoko again. And this they just kind of get pushed into each other. So I'm glad they're taking reps like this. Hopefully, that'll kind of help with some of their hand techniques. I mean, that's one of the reasons why Zimmer brought in, Greg Ellis from the beginning, because he spoke about, him taking classes, him just having amazing hand technique. This could be the last clip right here. Dang, of course it'll end in a false start. Sorry, I didn't know that was the last clip, but yeah, I mean, you guys can see these guys are, really just getting some work in. Really big bodies against big bodies, and it's good to see these guys are putting in that work. Let me, if you guys just bear with me 1 second, let me bring up these player clip interviews, and then we'll actually get out of here. Let me see. Let me see if I can upload it. Cause actually, yeah, give me 1 second. Okay, so yeah, so while we get that uploaded, I just want to shout out to everybody, like I said, who's been donating to the channel, showing their support, hitting the like button, hitting the share button. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you this morning. Just getting this quick video before practice starts, but yeah, like I said, shout out to everybody who's been making donations. Like I said, hitting the like, hitting the share. I actually want to have a list to bring up while that actually kind of downloads. Um, yeah, JBB Boy, Nisi, Eastside Herald, of course. Bruce got the Toxic Juice, Melvin Rankin, Eric Hunter, Julius, B Bird, Dwayne Brown. And you guys have really just been showing just awesome, awesome support. And I really do appreciate that. All right, let me see if I can get this. Okay, it's taking a little bit longer. Actually, I might be able to bring it up in the other window. Give me 1 second, y'all. Actually, yeah, perfect. Okay, perfect. Yeah, let me just share it right quick. Let me just share my screen with you all, and then I can show you just player interviews. It is not trying to give me one more. Give me 1 second, guys. Please bear with me. I appreciate y'all. All right, perfect. There we go. There we go. All right, we getting the work in, y'all. We getting there. We getting there. All right. So of course, if you guys follow me on Twitter/X or even IG, Facebook, I posted this clip yesterday of Brevin Span 4. Like I said, shout out to Law Nation, for helping me out, getting some of these player interviews. It was really just really interesting to be able to just speak to some of these guys. Even, although, very short, just like I said, just a couple questions, type interview, type stuff. But like I said, it was interesting to be able to get to know some of these guys. If you guys heard the clip yesterday, on Twitter, he spoke about, Mike, playing for Mike McCarthy, and that's something we talked about. Me and Star talked about it. I'm sure other content creators have spoke about Mike McCarthy, and his usage of tight ends, and even back to when he was with Green Bay. We saw him use a lot of big body guys. What's his name? Jimmy Graham. We saw. I forget the tight end who with James Cook. He used a lot of big body guys, and seeing number one, seeing Brevin Span Ford in person is I'll just say it firsthand. It's crazy because he definitely has that size, and we definitely see him, kind of towering over, some of the other guys and on the field, even with him just standing there. So it's just, I just think it's really interesting
All
that
right, Cowboys tight end,
went,
Brevin Span Ford. What's it feel like?
sorry about that they went and got a guy with this type of size. But I mean, and every now and then we only seen just, I mean, I haven't been watching all clips totally of camp, but we only see them use him and really the tight ends. I mean, of course, we see them going to Jake Ferguson, but we haven't really seen a high use of the tight ends in camp so far. That's hopefully what I'm looking for today, going to practice and also going forward, with camp in general, because I really want to see how Mike McCarthy, of course not, I'm sure he's not going to lay his cards out, but I'm just really looking forward to see how he's going to use these tight ends, not just Jake Ferguson, and how we can help him take another leap in year three. But it's just a matter of time before, I mean, in my opinion, before these other tight ends, get great usage in Mike McCarthy's system. So I'm just gonna let this first one play through, and also let the rest of the interviews play through. We also have John Stevens Jr. We have Cooper Beebe. I was also able to get Rico Dowdle, Nate Newton, and Brock Hoffman as well to kind of ask him just a few questions here and there. So if you guys just just bear with me and let me know if you guys can hear the clip. Give me a thumbs up if you're in the chat. Joining me. Just let me know if you guys can hear the clip. So here we go.
All right, Cowboys tight end, Brevin Span Ford. What's it feel like with your first year with the Cowboys?
It's been awesome. It's been a great learning experience. Obviously, very blessed to be here and thankful to be a part of this organization.
All right, final question. What makes you the most excited playing the tight end position under Mike McCarthy in his second year of play calling?
He loves his big tight ends, using them in the run game and down the field in the pass game. So what's not to love about that? So
absolutely.
Yeah, so as you guys like I said, you guys heard him say. And shout out to Thomas Beebe in the chat. Shout out to you, Mr. Beebe. I really appreciate your support. Yeah, I was able to get a chance to just speak to your son just briefly yesterday, and you could just sometimes you could just kind of feel and see, like I said, feel and see I spoke about the excitement that we see with the defense, but just interviewing Cooper Beebe, you could just see the excitement in his face. He's ready to go out there and compete. He's willing to step up. He's willing to really play, whatever role they need him to play. We know he's played. They have him play, taking guard snaps, with the second and third team. So, I mean, we and not just him. We see with all these young guys just willing to step up and really just be in that position to really be molded by this coaching staff. So here's John Stevens Jr.
Cowboys tight end John Stevens. What makes you more excited to play the tight end position under Mike McCarthy in year two?
Just learning the scheme more, gaining a little more weight, just knowing the system I get in.
And what type of spark do you think you bring to the offense?
I'm just trying to play my role wherever I can help it.
All right, appreciate it.
That was Tom.
Yeah, so as you heard, John Stevens, he said he's pretty. I think he's kind of in the mindset where he's trying to come back from that injury. So he just kind of answered the questions like, hey, I'm just trying to play my role. Whatever they need me to do. What I'm saying? I'm here to do that. And I asked him the same question as Brevin Span Ford. What do you think? If he's excited about playing the tight end under Mike McCarthy, and he said he's looking to to learn the playbook. And he said he even said he still wants to gain a little bit more weight. I mean, we know that he's already gained just a little bit of mass in his upper body. Lunda Wells spoke about that. Him hitting the weight room hard. In the offseason, trying to as part of his rehab. So. He spoke about him still trying to get used to that weight, still being, we know he's that he used to be a wide receiver in college, and then now he's making the transition to tight end. So he still has to get used to that weight, So that's good to see. And we see him out there making passes or making catches and things like that. So I don't think it's going to take long, but hopefully they can, just like Diggs, they can kind of work him in slowly. Not too fast, nothing too crazy, but I think he can. I mean, I'm just excited about these two tight ends. I mean, as you guys know, if you've been following me, I just think that with Mike McCarthy, he hasn't been the greatest play caller, but we've seen what he can do with tight ends, and we seen the year that Jake Ferguson had last year. So if you can just imagine that if you bring along a couple of guys, I mean, even Schoonmaker, he didn't have a great season last year, and although he's coming along slowly, they put Schoonmaker in positions to make big plays, to make, I'm saying, to have that responsibility. You know what I mean? So if they just kind of give these other guys, opportunities, if he gives Brevin Span Ford, excuse me, an opportunity, if you give John Stevens Jr. an opportunity, I really think that these guys can just really bring, just a different type of power, just a different, really a different look to this offense. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on to Cooper Beebe. Dak Owens Filthy, what's up? Yeah. Stevens definitely has me excited. Dak Owens Filthy, like just the way he catches the ball, like Law says, he has short area quickness, and he's not afraid to go out there and block as well. Brevin Span Four, we know the type of blocking machine that he is. So these tight ends could really be something. Could really be something great for our offense. But yeah, let me go ahead and get into Cooper Beebe.
Tom Cowboys new center Cooper Beebe. What makes you most excited about the center competition?
Just going out there and competing. That's what I love to do, and Brock's been very helpful, and it's been fun, learning from him.
What makes you most excited about the center competition?
Just go.
The offense.
Sorry, y'all, let me run this back.
I'm just trying to play my role wherever I can help it.
All right, appreciate that.
That was Tom.
Cowboys new center Cooper Beebe. What makes you most excited about the center competition?
Just going out there and competing. That's what I love to do, and Brock's been very helpful, and it's been fun, learning from him, and like you said, competing against him, just making each other better. It's overall gonna make the team better.
And not just Brock, but what else are you learning from the O-line room, just in general?
Man, just so much. Especially you got veterans like Zach, best in the business, and just continue to learn those small details that that are gonna make me good and great, and just pick up on the little things that that are really detail-oriented stuff like that, and just continue to get better.
All right.
Now, before we get to Brock Hoffman, because I was able to get both of them talking about the center position. Like I said, you guys can just see the excitement on BB's face. Like, you just kind of see him kind of light up when he talks about, number one, being able to go out there and compete with his guys. Getting mentorship not just from Brock Hoffman, but other guys in the room. I mean, the first name off his tongue was Zach Martin, and we know just how much of a dominant presence that Zach Martin has in that room. So and Tyler Smith has spoke about these young guys coming in, impressing him. Terrence Steele as well. So, and I just think that not just these past couple of years with the young guys we have at the offensive line, but these Cowboys, that's really just one of the things Cowboys have been known for, right? Trench work. The OLine has had that reputation for years, even back to guys like Travis Frederick, and Zach Martin has been here forever. But guys like Looney and saying Doug Free, like guys, Cowboys have had that reputation of having a stable offensive line. That's why in previous years when we kind of go into years either having injuries, and of course Tyron Smith, I kind of forget about him, but when we do go into seasons with injuries or uncertainty, like even just like last year, the first 5 weeks we really didn't play with all of our starters on the O line. So I just think sometimes it does take slow. It does take slow process. But you look at this year, we have a lot of guys that like I said, was in the system last year. The guys who have been able to grow: T.J. Bass, Brock Hoffman, Tyler Smith. Him becoming a leader in his own right. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of taking some of these guys, even though he's still pretty young, and I saw his interview with 105.3 The Fan. Shout out to them, and he spoke about about this line and just how much it's going to be important for these guys to step up. And also at the same time, another good point that he brought up is that he kind of settled in his opinion, he kind of settled the conversation of whether he's going to be playing guard, playing tackle, but with the Cowboys bringing in Tyler Guyton. He kind of said it to him. He kind of said it for himself that, hey, I'm going to be a guard. Instead of me having to switch back and forth, it was important for him to find a position that he could stick with and actually, and stick with it. And that's something that I like. Hopefully the Cowboys to stay with it. Hopefully they don't make him, bounce back and forth. And it's looking like that's going to be, the trajectory. Excuse me, with them bringing in Tyler Guyton. So it's just good that. Number one, the Cowboys bringing guys, and that's one thing they do the cross training. So that way it's good for these guys to be able to do more than one position. But it's also important for the Cowboys to find that solid position for these players, and then to expound upon that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having them switch between different positions, like we see with Chauncey Golston, or the things they had tried out with Fahopal last year. It's just sometimes these players can't develop in the right way if you kind of bounce them back and forth between, position. They may not be able to develop at that one, be able to be solid at that one position. You know what I mean? Hey, shout out to Sadiq in the building. What's up? How you doing, sis? Thank you for joining me this morning. Common Sense Lab as well. What's up, Lamar? Yeah, so like I said, I'm excited for these young guys, especially these first three. And these next three I have, I'll say the first three guys I have were kind of like young guys, rookies, if you will. And the next three I have are actually some veterans of the team, like I mentioned, Brock Hoffman, Rico Dowdle, and actually, of course, not on the team anymore, but Nate Newton, with just some commentary on what he thinks about the Cowboys bringing in Mike Zimmer. So we'll just move on.
The little things that that are really detail oriented, stuff like that, and just continue to get better.
All right, the center position and the competition battle.
What makes me excited about it? Just coming to work every single day.
There you go.
Hey man, you doing a great job on your podcast, man. I like the insight you put on the team, man.
Yeah.
But far as who been giving you the most trouble? Who been giving you the most trouble on that DLine?
Hey, Zeke!
Osa been giving you work over there. That's what's up, man. Hey, that's what's up.
Hey, and shout out to Landlord. Like I will say this before I move on. Landlord is one hell of a co-pilot. I'll tell y'all, me and him were knocking them players down like nothing. Like them players were coming by, and we had to shout some of their names sometimes to try to get their attention. But I'll tell y'all, Landlord is one hell of a content creator. I'll say that. Meeting him in person finally and being able to kind of work with him just a little bit and seeing how he was kind of firing off them questions. Like, make sure you guys, I'm sure you guys already subscribed, but make sure you guys subscribe to him because he got some fire questions, some fire interviews with some big players on the sideline. So yeah, make sure you guys. Hey, what's up, Star? How you doing? Thank you for joining me. Since I don't know if you just joined, but I'm gonna run back that Cooper Beebe interview because really I was like, you know what, I gotta get Beebe because I just know my girl Star. Like, she was on it, y'all. Make sure you guys subscribe to her as well because she got me on. You know what I'm saying? She's a brilliant mind. I love working with her. I'm so glad. Shout out to West Coast for getting us together because I just really feel like she's like my true sister in this game, and I really appreciate you, sis. It's forever just for joining me since last year and continuing to be continue to see me on my journey, man, and our journey. Like I said, sis, like I got I haven't worked it through, but I think I got a surprise for our show, and I haven't told you yet, so it's not something not the collab I told you about before, but it may be something else big. But I'm gonna hit you up once I get off here. But yeah, so let me get back to this Cooper Beebe interview. But yeah, like as you guys heard from Brock Hoffman, he said, he's pretty much just, the lunch pail guy coming to work every day. And also just me asking a question. Like I said, I spoke about Cooper Beebe's excitement. You kind of see this seriousness in Hoffman. I like that. He seems focused in, he seems honed in. Like, I mean, we heard the story about him being cut from the practice squad by the Browns. So he just may be feeling overlooked. So he, and a lot of people have been saying that he kind of has, the center position locked down. So, I'm not surprised. He may not even think of it as a competition, but it's just good to see that, like I said, actually another point I want to bring up that Schottenheimer brought up in an interview that he did last week when someone asked him a question about Tyler Guyton and, why they don't just, give him the position, right? And Schottenheimer said, we're all about making all of these guys compete. We're about giving all these guys opportunities to be able to go out here and fight for the position that they're, each respective position, if you will. So, talking about Guyton in that question, you're talking about Guyton, Shuma Edoga, Awesome Richards, taking different snaps at that position. And it has to be, we have to think the same for Cooper Beebe and Brock Hoffman. Brock Hoffman was, here first. TJ Bass as well. They threw him in, they threw him in the competition as well. But it's just good to see that all these guys are taking the competition seriously. And we talked about it in previous shows, but the wide receivers, and now the center position, the left tackle position, the running back position. We could go on and on. The list goes on. But one thing, like I said, one thing I love about the Cowboys is that they're not afraid to pick the young guy. They're not afraid to go with the guy who we may think as being as unexperienced, but they can show us something different. So. On the other side of the token, though, you also have the fact that the guys may not be good who you do decide to. That's why the development process is so important. So, yeah, it's just good to see that both guys, Cooper Beebe, Brock Hoffman, are both, and Cooper Beebe spoke about learning from Hoffman. So at the same time as trying to go for the position, Hoffman is also, kind of unveiling his mentorship, his veteran leadership that he can also bring to this room.
Like Zach, best in the business, and competing against him, just making each other better. Overall, gonna make the team better.
And not just Brock, but what else have you learned from the O-line room just in general?
Man, just so much. Especially, you got veterans like Zach, best in the business, and just continue to learn those small details that that are gonna make me good and great, and just pick up on the little things that that are really detail-oriented stuff like that, and just continue to get better.
All right, the center position and the competition battle.
What makes me excited about it? Just coming to work.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and
Who been giving you the most trouble? Who been giving you the most trouble on that D-line?
Sadiq, I'm in Oxnard till tomorrow. I got a flight out tomorrow to come back home.
Who been giving you the most trouble? Who been giving you the most trouble on that D-line?
Hey, Zeke!
Huh? Osa been giving you work over there. That's what's up, man. Hey, that's what's up.
That's for it to decide itself when I get out there. I mean, I don't.
What kind of spark do you think you can bring to Mike McCarthy's offense under year 2?
I don't really. That's for it to decide itself when I get out there. I mean, I don't really. It all time will tell. So I think I can do good though in the offense. Just ready to get out there. We'll see.
We're definitely rooting for you.
You ready?
Yeah, and like I said, here we have Rico talking about, he pretty much just said, it's gonna figure itself out, and whatever they need me to do, I'll do it. But he pretty much said he just got to go out there and earn it, and what I'm saying, just put his best foot forward. I asked him, he's been here a few years, what kind of spark he thinks he can bring, and I think I don't know, maybe spark may not have been the right word, but I think he can still bring some of that short area quickness. Like I mentioned, landlord being there, he asked him, later on in the interview. And for his part of the interview, he told he spoke about some good plays he had from last year. He spoke about and he actually had several screenplays that that were effective last year. He spoke about his screenplay in the Arizona game, and I think Rico had one down the line late in the season that I think was almost supposed to be a touchdown, but I don't know if it went through. Oh yeah, yeah, Star. Yeah, you heard Hoffman. Yeah, he said Oakland was giving them fits. Yeah, and that's crazy. I'm glad Landlord asked that question, because that's actually a really good question, because we speak about these guys going up against each other in practice, but I'm sure it's not the same as going up against an actual opposing team. But yeah, when these guys are giving you your best, like when we see Micah going off on that left side, and going off on Guyton or going off on Awesome Richards, that's these guys giving their best in camp, and of course we don't want them going full hundo, but it's good to see these guys are still putting that same effort in practice against these other guys, to not only make themselves better, but to also make them better. I'm sure Osa giving Brock Hoffman his some of his best will make Hoffman better, and I'm sure that's kind of gotten them better for this position.
Good though in the offense. Just ready to get out there. We'll see.
We're definitely rooting for
You
you.
ready to take over that running back too, man?
Yeah, well.
Run back one.
Oh, hey, yeah, go take it all then. That's
Yeah.
what we need, man. That's what we need.
I had to show him at one, because I mean,
here,
really,
up and coming content creator, Caven.
before we get to Nate. Yeah, because I kind of shouted out running back one, because we really, we still have, like, I saw your video yesterday, Star. We really just have no, it's just, we're still holding out hope for a running back. Yesterday on Laws Live, I mentioned, still not counting out Rico Davis. I'm sorry, Rico Davis, my bad. Malik Davis, excuse me. Because like I said, he's still showing promise. He's still showing effort, number one. And he's showing little bursts. He's scoring points. You know what I'm saying? I think, in my opinion, racking up good days with the coaching staff. So of course, it'll all play out in preseason. He can have a chip on his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Not being used in previous years. Like Rico being here, for 2, 3, maybe even 4 years. I'm not really sure about Malik Davis, how long he's been here, but you can imagine being in a place for a few years and feeling like you never really got a chance, or feeling like you never could really put your best foot forward. So I think Malik is just playing with a little extra grit this year. It's a little bit extra added to it, and I like to see it. I really do like to see it. Yeah, I agree with you, Star. Yes. Osa may have a big, and I think he will. We talked about that on our show, about him progressing every year, and that's just really I believe, and I'm sure a lot of people believe, that's just the player that he is. So to see him take another step, like we talk about Jake Ferguson, like we talk about Jalen Tolbert taking another leap. You know what I'm saying, coming into this year, if Osa is definitely one of those guys who quietly take a leap every year, and it shows on the field. Like late in the season last year, we didn't see as much effectiveness on the field, but he's definitely still holding down that middle. So if we just get him a little bit more help, he's kind of, well, he was dealing with a little bit of a hip issue, but he's definitely going full go in camp. So that's good to see, because Osa is definitely, we definitely, of course, along with some other big bodies in the middle. But Osa is definitely just a staple that, number one, I hope that we don't lose, after his contract year. But just a guy that, like I said, he's just been, keeping his head down, coming to work every day, like Brock Hoffman said, and just coming in and, doing his job and doing what needs to be done. So our final interview we have here is with Nate Newton. I just kind of asked him what his opinion is on them bringing in Zimmer, and what he thinks, could make the defense different.
Creator, Cleveland Cowboys. Just want to ask you a couple questions, sir. What makes you most excited about the Cowboys bringing in Zimmer, and what he can teach his defensive line?
Well, he's more of a discipline. He's going to ask guys to do their job and to play their responsibilities, and hopefully help with the run game. He's a hard-nosed coach, but he can relate to the players. He understands this new breed of player, so I think things will be okay, and I think he'll get guys going in the right direction.
All right, perfect. And just one last question for me, if you don't mind. What makes you most excited about him also bringing in Greg Ellis and Coach Scanina to help with the defensive edges and defensive tackles?
It's all about trusting guys to do what you ask them to do, and it starts with your coaches. He's the coordinator, defensive line coaches that you're talking about. He trusts them. They understand his techniques and what he's want, and they're going to drive that home and make sure that it get done so that the players will know what to do.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, and I shout out the big Nate Newton, taking the time to answer just a couple questions for me. I really do appreciate it. I got to add him on Twitter and make sure I thank him, but I really do thank him for his time. And I really wanted to ask him what I think, or what he thinks how Zimmer can also make the O-line better. Him just teaching this grit, this new attitude to the D-line, how he thinks it could, kind of bolster up the O-line, if you will. So hopefully, I just, hopefully the energy that's translating over to the defense through Zimmer can also somehow make the O-line stronger. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys can get what I'm saying, because if the D-line is playing, just like Star said here, like she said, yeah, Boston Landlord took the percentage of snaps he's been playing, and it's sickening. DQ barely had our best players on the field. I mean, we were just talking about that, unfortunately, before he went down, about Sam Williams. A lot of guys, not really getting that full opportunity to play. And even, Stephen Jones, once again, looking, talking, speaking of things in hindsight, he mentioned that, oh yeah, we didn't have Sam Williams on the field enough. We didn't, some guys didn't get that much opportunity to play. And it's like, but you have the whole season though. You have the whole season. And even at the bye week, midweek, or mid-season, you can take a look at the snaps and see what guys are actually playing. But if you don't change, what I'm saying, if you don't make the adjustments, we talk about DQ making adjustments in game, but you have an entire 17, which could be 18 game season, and you don't make any type of adjustment. You don't see that maybe some guys aren't getting the job done, or even if you have young guys, and we know Sam Williams was itching for opportunities last year. So just like Star said about Osa not really getting the right amount of snaps, it is crazy. And like Nate Newton just mentioned here, him bringing in guys like Coach Scanina, bringing in Coach Ellis, be able to teach these guys. And he spoke about trust. Zimmer has worked with these guys. Greg Ellis, went to a training camp with him, I believe, when he first started coaching. I can't remember right now. But of course, we know Coach Scanina worked with Zimmer for a little bit, and of course them bringing in Paul Gunther, who seems to be right now Zimmer's right hand man, taking control of the linebacker room, and teaching them about these run fits. And we see Damone moving even faster now. We see Marist getting in the backfield. I mean, hell, we even see Damian Wilson, Willie Harvey, guys that maybe we kind of laughed at, maybe kind of looked sideways at when we signed them, but these guys are making moves. Even the newly signed defensive edges, Al-Qadim Muhammad, Shaka Tony, they're making gains. I think I tweeted yesterday, like, of course, these are free agent pickups and things like that. But some of these guys who have been here, Darrell Johnson, Tyrus Wheat, these newly signed defensive edges are kind of putting a little heat on their back. So I just they just have some of that. They just Muhammad is just showing power off the line. I believe 92, if I'm correct. He's just showing great power off the line, great speed. 72 is definitely, definitely Shaka Tony, I should say, is definitely giving them fits as well. But I love the speed I'm seeing from Al Qadim Muhammad, and like I said, I'm definitely gonna be taking more of a look today at more of if we can get a good view on our side of the field. More of the D line and O line work, and just seeing these guys continue to compete in those trenches and really just bring the best out in each other, like as you guys see with the exchange. Like I said, shout out to the landlord for the great question about Brock Hoffman talking about also giving them fits. I mean, and we see with the work about some of these guys are working against each other, for the most part working with the same guys, so we see second and third team. So I think it's good that these guys will be able to gain their confidence while at the same time hopefully helping to mold their brother across the line. So that was pretty much all the clips I had. Like I said, I just wanted to share these clips with you before we actually had practice today. So that way I wasn't overloading you guys with clips from today as well. So hopefully I'll be able to get a little bit more a film work on, like I said, more of the D line, more of the O line. Hopefully tight ends too. I like seeing the drills with the quarterback and the tight ends, but I just want to hopefully with more of the 7-on-7 drills, or even the maybe even 9-on-7. Hopefully we see a little bit more tight end work. And I just want to see just how, I mean, and it really is still early in camp. I mean, we really only had maybe like a week, maybe close to a week and a half of padded practice. So I'm sure there's more work to get to, but I just want to see how Mike McCarthy plans to use these tight ends, because we have a great number, and if we're keeping 3 to 4, what I'm saying, going into this season, I just hopefully we'll be able to see a good use of them going forward. So yeah, before we get out of here, thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate everybody that came through. Star, my girl, Sadiqa, like I said, Marcus McFarland, Dak owns Filthy, Jameson Taylor, Lamar, everybody that came through. I really appreciate you guys for just continuing to show support. And like I said, I really do appreciate the support in the comments. And yeah, I definitely plan to keep going. And this definitely puts a battery in my back to try to put out better content, and to just try to do my research and make sure I show you guys things that should be shown. And thank you, Star. I really appreciate it. And I'm definitely make sure you guys follow my Twitter uh, at Craven Cowboys. Follow my IG. Follow my Facebook. That's where actually post most of my training camp clips. Once I'm able to actually go through them and get them out. So make sure you guys follow those platforms. What's up, CJ? Good to see you in the building. I think it's the first time I'm seeing you. Nice to meet you. Yeah, yeah. Like Star said, yeah. Make sure you guys hit the support. Make sure you guys hit the Cash App. Make sure you guys hit the like, the subscribe, the share, all that. All that good stuff. Yeah. Hopefully there would be an evolution, CJ. We really need. I'm not saying we need an evolution, but we had these young players coming in, these young rookies, young second year players, even some third year players who are playing out their minds. And I think we could really see just a change in hopefully our identity, instead of just being a one and done type team, or a team that can't get it done. I don't want to be well with the Cowboys. I mean, they're already kind of it's been 30 years, but I don't want to keep being known as a team who just can't get it done. So hopefully these young guys can kind of bring just a new identity, a new fresh feel to this team that yeah, we may struggle, to start off with, because these guys are still learning slowly but surely. But yeah, I think this team could, just grow into, a different type of, like I said, and just to kind of, I'm really, really looking far ahead. But I had this conversation with my dad, maybe like about a month ago or so. But I really don't see them getting rid of McCarthy or Zimmer. I'll say that's my hot take before the season even starts. My hot take is that Zimmer and McCarthy will both be here after this season, because number one, the impact that McCarthy has had. Of course, we know 3 12-5 seasons back to back. I'm saying, we've kind of gotten spoiled, expecting the Cowboys to go to the playoffs every year partly because of McCarthy, right? Because we really didn't have that before. And as far as on the side of Zimmer, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, even with OTAs, we saw an effect on the defense. We see the DB stepping up, making interceptions. We see the linebackers breaking through the line in scrimmage, getting back to the running back. So we even seen Kendricks, Donovan Wilson getting interceptions. You know what I mean? So it's just seeing the, in my opinion, almost the automatic or instantaneous or instant effect of Zimmer on the defense. Unless Jerry is just really crazy. Like I don't really see him getting rid of Zimmer. How do you get rid of a coach who's having this much effect on your defense already, just a few weeks in? And the players love him. The players talk about how he's teaching them the basics with some things. He's teaching them the basics of other positions. And it just really seems like, you think that the brotherhood of this locker room couldn't grow anymore, but you're starting to see even more. And now that the defense is kind of like gelling together. All positional groups know what they're supposed to be doing. So that way they can talk to each other, like you see with Ellis coaching both of those groups. So that way both of those groups can get together and talk to each of those guys in the room and be like, hey, you need to work on this. Hey, you need to work on that. But let me get on out of here, y'all, because practice is starting 15 minutes now. I just want to get there in time for the 7-on-7 drills. I think they're on our side today. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and run out of here. Yeah, CJ, we definitely got to get that run game going because, yeah, Malik is doing decent, and I still have confidence in Rico. But it's just a matter, of what they can do. And I really hate to run out of here on you guys, honestly. Laurel Blizzard, thank you for joining me. I think it's the first time I'm seeing you here, too. He says Mike McCarthy's swag. Sorry about that, y'all. Let me see. I second that hot take. Mike McCarthy's swag seemed a little different with Zimmer. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? And I even said that with an earlier live stream early in the offseason. Like, we saw their chemistry in the first press conference they did, right? Zimmer Zimmer answering all the questions. Mike just kind of sitting back. McCarthy kind of sitting back, and he's like, yo, bro, like this is what it's like. Be answering all these questions, and like they just, you just kind of get that kind of rapport, that kind of joking back and forth, this kind of that friendship. I mean, they played against each other for years, so I'm sure they are always, cross paths. But I just like the chemistry I'm seeing from them, and like I said, just the instant effect on the team, I think is going to be huge. Yeah, Primate LLC. First time I'm seeing you in here. Thank you for joining me. He says CeeDee Lamb isn't there yet, so their defense getting hype is kind of playing just a bit. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that. Yeah, CD isn't there, but I mean they do have guys like Tyron Billy Johnson who's shown the ability to stretch the field. They do still have guys like Jalen Tolbert who's catching a crazy amount of catches from Dak. I mean that chemistry is going off. Jalen Brooks, as well as a high pointer of the ball, able to get some touchdowns, here and there. So I think it's although it is not our number one receiver out there, I think just the development of the wide receiver room in general, I think can make this defense a little bit better because we see more guys contributing more. We see Tyron Billy Johnson, we see Jalen Moreno Crawford. I mean, we even see Racing McMath, a tall wide receiver giving some of these guys problems. So it's just, like I said, it's good to see the development all around, really. But let me go ahead and go to practice, y'all. I really appreciate everybody joining me. I will hopefully try to be back later on with the live or the clips I get today. So I really appreciate everybody joining. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the Cash App, like my girl Star said. MP Cox 90. I actually don't have it. I have it listed up the next time. I think she posted it in the chat. But I really appreciate everybody joining me. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you guys next time. And we out. See y'all.